Greetings, everybody. This is Serpentine451, and yeah, another Weeb Warriors episode. Who would have thunk it? But this is a special, and Jay is joining me, and this is going to be added to the regular episode count, guys. So we get 2 episodes this week. 2 fucking episodes.
There are big releases. In fact, there's also another big release that I want to do a follow-up special on once Tony is able to watch it as well, because there's another really good show out on Netflix as well that deserves some attention.
We're all about that spice. But, speaking of some hot shit, yesterday, one of our favorite shows decided to get a 3rd season on the board.
Yep.
And that being a Gretzko.
Everybody's favorite metal red panda. Oh man, it was so good to have this show back. I really liked it, and I think, you know, in my personal opinion, this was the most relatable season of the show yet. There were so many times all throughout the season where I was just like, "Oh shit, I've been here. Oh, yeah. Ow, ow, that hurts."
Yes, fucking bet. You know?
Yep. So, yeah, we have done episodes covering the previous seasons of Gretzko, so we don't really need to go too much into recap of the past seasons. You can go to, you could search through the backlog for those. But basically, Gretzko, it starts off with Gretzko kind of reeling from her whirlwind romance with Aslan Musk, aka Tadano. And so after that whole fiasco, she's like, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm gonna get me a virtual boyfriend. I'm gonna spend money on a husbando. And Gretzko enters a combo of VR and gotcha hell. And
we understood that life.
Yep. As 2 FGO players, oh boy, do we get that. Let me tell you, I am just glad that the Spiritron dresses don't cost Saint Courts.
Oh, God.
Because if they started charging for outfits, we would be real broke.
Oh, God. I would be dead.
Especially Tony. Tony loves the different Spiritron dresses. When the Arthur one came out, he was so hyped. Respectfully so, because Arthur's outfit is pretty fucking clean.
That's shit I would wear, straight up.
But yeah, so Gretzko finds herself in like the hole. She
bitch and dead. Bitch and dead.
She does what every gotcha player does. You know, when they went on a spending binge. You gotta eat less. You have to eat ramen noodles for a couple weeks.
Or you have a stockpile of food that you don't cook with, so you have to be smart. Or you go to the food bank.
Or in Retzko's case, she went with day-old bread crust and stolen cookies. So, she's been there. And the funniest shit about this little subplot is that Fenico was talking mad shit about it.
She always talks mad shit. Talks mad shit.
As a friend who talked mad shit to Tony prior to me getting into FGO, and I was like, nah, man, I could never see myself spending money on a phone game like that. Are you kidding me? I was like, I love Fate, but there's no way. Nuh-uh. I couldn't do it. Nope.
But you did.
Nope. And Tony, I've already apologized to you for this, but yeah, I apologize. I was wrong. I did. I'm not a whale like you here. I am but a humble dolphin. But I'll make my transformation one day. Probably 2 years from now when Castor Artoria comes out. But maybe one day. But yeah. So
your time will come, brother. Your time will come.
Yep. Fenico gets into it, and she's, at first she's playing it, she's like, there's nothing big about this. This ain't nothing. And she starts walking around, and she goes, oh shit, this is pretty cool.
Like, God damn you, sexy unicorn!
Yep, the sexy unicorn got her hook, line,
and
sinker.
sucker.
Oh man, she has entered gotcha hell, and poor Giga was just unaware. There is no escape. There is no escape.
There is never escape, bro.
If you leave the safety of the limbo that is free to play, then you're done. This is it for you.
You're
this
dead.
It's just gonna be your life now. It's your life now. Accept it and move forward with no regrets. Hold your head up high and hold your materials with pride because you earned that shit.
Yep. Take your L. Take your L and just go home.
Yep. No regrets. Just take it like a man and or woman of culture.
Just take it with pride and just whip ass.
Yep. You got it, folks. As long as you know your gotcha addiction isn't super crazy, you're not like the person who took out a second mortgage on their house just to get Jolter.
Or you're the fuck nugget that decides to risk it all, so to speak.
Yep. But just to, going into quick gotcha tips. Always set a budget, people. That was Retsuko's big mistake. She didn't set a budget. You always set a budget when approaching gotcha. You're like, okay, I could spend $40 here this month. There's some pretty decent stuff coming out. I could do that. That's no big deal. $40 is no biggie. All right, cool. That's not gonna hurt me in the long run. You just have to learn to budget things. And because of her lack of budgeting, which is ironic as hell because she's a fucking accountant, but because of her lack of budgeting,
can't budget worth shit.
She ended up in debt, and she ended up also getting distracted because she wanted some steak because she was, hungry and food starved, and she ended up backing into this leopard guy. Or is he a cheetah? I don't fucking know.
I think he's a jaguar, honestly.
He's a jaguar? He was yellow, so I was like, is he a leopard or a cheetah?
I bet jaguar.
Well, this big cat dude. Big cat businessman.
Which, in actuality, he's a fucking, blue-collar guy.
Yep. Well, at first we thought he was a businessman by the way he dressed and acted, but yeah, he's a blue-collar worker. But yeah, big cat dude. Retsuko thinks, oh shit, I'm gonna end up paying out the ass. I'm already in the red. What's gonna happen to me now? Fuck. And it turns out he was pretty cool about it. He's like, you know what? We don't need to get lawyers involved, insurance companies, any of that shit. You just have to pay me this, and we're golden. And she's like, oh really? And he goes, yeah. She goes, well, I can't really do that right now because of my job. And then he goes, what do you do? And then he realizes on the back of her card she mentions that she does accounting. And he goes, you know what? You can work this off by working for me. Now, what could this mysterious cat person's job be, you ask? Why, he is a producer for an underground idol group called OTM Girls.
Which, you know what, Jay? I gotta tell you, man, even though you don't really like this anime, but it reminded me so much of a certain show that I wanted you and Jordan to take a look at.
Is that the Love Live shit?
No, bro. It's Backstreet Girls, where three poor Yakuza bastards become idols, and they actually change sexes.
Yeah, I do remember you mentioning
the costumes are the exact fucking same.
I do remember you mentioning that one, and me and Jordan gave it a hard pass. Yeah,
it was. I looked at him like, motherfucker, this is the same, but it's two hamsters and a chinchilla.
Yep. And wait, the lead girl's a chinchilla? For the longest time I thought she was just a I thought she was like a buddy, like a miniature rabbit.
No, that's a chinchilla, bro.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Monica's cool. At first, I thought she was just gonna be a bitch, but no, she turned out to be pretty cool. I like her a lot. She was the person Retzko needed to like give her the kick in the ass to like actually get her shit moving. And also, like, I really related to Retzko this season because she was out here just on like the constant grind. She was doing odd jobs for the group. She became their social media manager. She ended up like making merch and stuff. And also, she had like this YouTube channel teaching, like with death voice tutorials,
which
trying to make ad revenue.
Tone's daughters fucking loved.
Yep.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought that was great. Like that was pretty fantastic. Cause like as somebody who works in content creation and streaming and shit like that, like I know the struggle of having to manage your social media, work on tags, figure out merch, make good contacts with artists so you can, have your shit looking nice.
In my content game, like my social media game is pretty subpar. It's ass.
Well, I mean, Tony, you're just doing this shit for fun. Like, this is my job, so I have to take it seriously.
I would love fucking views, though.
Hey, man, you just need to work on your marketing. Your marketing is off. Your marketing is off.
Maybe I need someone who can do my marketing for me.
Listen, I can at least give you the standard promo package. I'll help you out. I will become your social media manager.
Yeah. Just manage my social media.
We'll figure this out.
Even though this is for fun, I would like to get more views on this Weeb Warrior shit.
No, I got you. I'll start plugging it on the channel. Do some cross promotion. It's anime related. I got you.
Be on that grind. Give me some paper. Well, not really, because if I actually get my book writing off the ground, I can make some extra cash, but that won't be for a long while. Oh well.
But yeah, so back to Agretzko though. So yeah, she's on this grind, and then eventually there comes a point where producer Cat actually hears Retzko in her karaoke booth, doing her thing, and he's like, "Oh shit, that's what we're missing. We need this. All right, Retzko, you are no longer just the accounting director. You're now a member of the group.
And you're gonna, like, head this new fucking song." I'm like, fuck. Retsy out here be fucking wildin'.
Yep, and she, obviously Retzko is a very, like, passive person, and she's not used to, like, performing in front of people, so she's, like, mad nervous. And then Monica
kicked her in the ass, not literally, but metaphorically, just said, "Yo, get your act together, fucking bitch. Do some shit.
Stop being a pussy. You're a red panda. Stop being a pussy." So she eventually, like, took that advice and got up on stage and fucking killed it. And speaking of secret lives, we find out that Weasel Man is like a hardcore idol obsession.
Yeah, he has a boner for idols, which is fucking hilarious to me.
Right? And, like, he, like, writes about Retzko on his, like, apparently super famous otaku blog called Chief Idol. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that shit.
At first, Retzko has a panic attack. She's like, "Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck." He goes, "Oh, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I love what you do. I would never want that ruined. I'm not gonna fucking snitch. I got you, fam. I love your content. Why would I want it to end by you having to quit?"
Oh, he was mad sad that she didn't become an idol anymore.
Yep, he was very sad.
Motherfucker was obsessed with her.
But at least he was a good fan, unlike that one fucker.
That llama prick. Oh, yeah.
We'll get there in a second. But let's try to switch gears a little bit to our main hyena man, Haida. Alright, Haida. Haida is a character that I've complained about for 2 whole seasons now. And I'm gonna be honest, I complained about him throughout a good chunk of the third. But my man had some development.
Yeah,
this man had some development.
This man, to be fair, he does his damnedest.
Listen, we've all been there. We've all had things for girls that just weren't interested in us. Like, that's just shit that happens to every guy. I'm sure that's happened to girls too. And it's just like, but the thing with Haida that I don't necessarily agree with is that he's still sticking to it. And like, on one hand, I admire the tenacity, don't give up on your dreams. If you really do believe that you're going to be together, then, stick with it. But, like, he keeps pushing it. I think the lesson that he still needs to learn is that, like, he just needs to let shit happen. Like, let go of it, let her do her own thing, and if she comes to you, let her come to you. Don't try to keep forcing it. And I think that's still something he hasn't learned yet. Which is fine, because I don't feel like his arc is over, per se. There's still more for this show to tell, for sure. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Haida, Tony?
I mean, with this season, he, I gotta commend him for some, like, top-tier shit. He did his damnedest. He tried to put himself out there, and hell, he almost got it in with another girl, which I respect.
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty cute. And she really did like him, and I mean, Haida could shred. Like, his base skills were pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty dope. And Inui seemed like a really good girl. So, like, I'm kind of rooting for them at a point. But, like I said, I feel like he did make the right decision. By not choosing her, because, like, anybody who's been in this situation, if you just choose the safe option just to have somebody, you're gonna be, happy for a while, but at a point, you're gonna end up feeling resentful towards yourself, but you're gonna end up taking it out on that person, wrongfully, and it's gonna just turn that relationship toxic, and it's just not a good time for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really glad that he did not choose Inui. But I can't fully agree with him choosing Retsuko either, personally. I still think that Retsuko had a solid point of being like, your fucking dramatic gestures, you bursting in here, saving my life and all that stuff. Just because you did all that just means you think that you can confess and I'm going to just instantly fall for you. No, fuck that. I am currently processing trauma right now. Leave me fuck alone. I almost died, fam. Relax. I'm not entitled to your feelings, and you are not entitled to mine. Okay? Chill.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I definitely... I'm on her side with that one. But yeah, how do you feel about that whole situation? This whole will they, won't they? As somebody who's doing a whole, research project and series on, like, relationship dynamics in, like, romance, anime, and harems in particular.
Well, to be fair, I kind of, looking at both of their perspectives, Haida is harboring something fierce for a girl. And I mean, workplace romances don't really typically, pan out for everybody. And there is, and within that particular situation, can be kind of toxic too. I mean, both of his romantic interests in this season were workplace relationships. And Haida was, like we've mentioned before, he keeps carrying this torch for this one girl, which I commend for. I mean, that's loyalty right there. And just noticing the little things about a girl that you're into, sure, that's fine.
I do appreciate that it's not shallow. I agree with you on that point. Yeah,
but here's the thing.
For sure.
If she's not interested and you got turned down once, maybe it's a good idea to try something else in a way. Or,
Yeah.
this is what I'm kind of thinking here, though. Inui was a way to kind of give Haida a chance to see what else is out there. And I honestly think that he had much better chemistry with Inui.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I point out the conversation they had after they went to the same record shop, which that's a tactic that little Missy here implemented. She was so into a guy that she, well, knew where his favorite record store was. Which,
that was cool.
That's clever. Yeah, she was playing a few steps ahead of our boy. And fucking, dear bitch.
Sonoda.
Sonoda.
I was so happy to see her again.
Sonoda.
One of my low-key favorite characters.
Sonoda was like on that shit. She knew. And I'm like, I have my relationship problems, and I knew from the jump that Inui was just playing the game.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, I see her body language. She really wants to try something here.
Yeah, no, she was clearly into him, and he was just oblivious. And obviously, it's to reflect his own feelings for Retsy go back at him, which I think was definitely necessary. But again, I feel like he learned the wrong lesson here.
Definitely. Well, he learned. Okay, so back. Mm-hmm. So I'm continuing with my analysis here, because I'm wearing my love doctor cap here.
All right.
But I looked at that conversation that they had, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jay. I think the connection that Inui and Haida had was actually very genuine. It was natural. They had shared interests. They had a conversation. Now, let's look at previous seasons and the Christmas special of Retsy. Did he and Retsy ever have any conversations like that? Honestly.
No, never. And they've never really talked outside of work for real. And Haida, both Haida and Fenico pointed that out. Their friendship is those friends you have at work that you're really cool with, but you don't really hang out with them outside of work. And that's perfectly fine. You can have those types of friends.
But, and here's the thing. Inui seemed very interested in him. Went to him just straight off the jump when it comes to, different various problems. Fenico caught it. Sonoda caught it. And Fenico really laid it out on him that what he's doing is fucking stupid. And honestly, yes, and I agree with you, Jay, settling for the easy way wouldn't have helped Haida, but in all honesty, he had better chemistry with Inui. He seemed to really gel with her.
Yeah,
but it's his own idiotic.
I feel like she also really understood him as well. Because you can get a lot from somebody if you have a conversation with them about stuff they're passionate about. And we got early on from Haida that Haida is big into punk music, and him and Inui, their conversation about the nuances of punk music and what they like about it, that really showed me that they understand each other very well.
And
they communicate very naturally also.
Yeah, and even though it would have been disastrous for Haida in the grand scheme of things, but it would have been something that would have felt genuine, would have felt real. So either which way, Haida doesn't come out good, but with Inui, there would have been something there that he would have realized that, hey, maybe I don't have it in with Retsy. And I have a much better connection with this other girl who is really into me, and I kind of like. She's cute. But hey, romances and relationships are complicated. I know that from personal experience, and Jay knows that from his personal experiences.
100%.
And I know things aren't easy. But when it comes to just that connection you have with somebody about your passions in life, things just come naturally. And sure, being a white knight for someone you're holding a torch for will win you some points. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to get you any favors in the long run.
Yeah, it's gonna end up causing you more pain, because it's just like, if they're not into you, then they're not gonna be into you. Not every scenario is gonna be like some rom-com or some romance anime. You can't just do some big dramatic move and suddenly sweep a girl off her feet. In fact, just thinking that that's possible is honestly low-key a little sexist.
True, definitely. And honestly, let me give you guys some personal experiences in my life. I'm a hopeless romantic. Jay knows this.
Same here. Yeah.
Jay kind of helps me with my own issues, and being on the autism spectrum, it's a little bit more difficult for me to have romantic relationships, for the most part. And I haven't really, specified, if not, correct me if I'm wrong, about my most recent failures. Well, my most recent romantic mishap.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, with this current ex-girlfriend that I had, she essentially was dating another guy on top of seeing me. Now, granted, the relationship was only 4 months long, but I was into her. I wanted to just help her out in any way that I can, because she was a single mother. And I know what some of y'all will say, that it's kind of a bad thing to do, to kind of jump into relationships like that if you don't have kids of your own. But I don't really see that as a detriment. When you have a connection with somebody, it shouldn't be an issue, honestly.
Oh, yeah,
that's just my opinion. Others can disagree. But the way I saw it is that I was really into her. She was spunky. She kept me on my toes. She was what I needed at that time. And her kids were great too. Her kids loved me. But when I found out that I was being two-timed, it hurt. It really did. I was at a loss of what to do. But then, even though my family pretty much was telling me maybe I should give dating a woman on the spectrum a try. And even though now the way I kind of presented my argument may have been a bit prejudiced against those on the spectrum. And admittedly, I was a bit prejudiced, because the way I saw it, only dating somebody with a similar condition only breeds its own form of prejudice.
Yeah.
And that's the way I saw it. It's like, why would my family want me to kind of pigeonhole myself into only dating women on the spectrum?
No, yeah. I totally see your point, because that'd be like the same. That'd be like the same with me, of only dating women that are physically disabled.
That's the argument that I made to my family, and they just didn't see my point of view, and how regular women, just throughout the course of my life, treated me like dirt. And I saw what they were coming from, and hey, they weren't wrong. But
yeah, and there are plenty of counterpoints to that argument as well, because
there's also people on the spectrum that are also horrible people too in relationships.
Yeah, I
And
was gonna say, just people in general kind of suck. That's just life.
yeah, and I kind of knew that from the jump. And sometimes my family doesn't really understand where I'm at in my life, and that in itself is its own form of prejudice.
Yeah. So to rein it back in though, back to Haida, the
But
whole Haida analysis.
and that's kind of my. But I'm trying to make a comparison here.
Okay.
Haida is pretty much me in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to make all these romantic gestures, just helping out where I can, just doing small things, and just being there. Sometimes that isn't enough. Sometimes you have to take some form of initiative. And Haida has an issue of taking initiative, where he second guesses himself, and that's pretty much where I'm at in my life. Where romantically, I'm at a point in my life where I never really wanted to take initiative like I am so vehemently afraid of always putting myself out there and not getting like some form of acknowledgement. It's my own insecurities just projecting out there into the world. And yeah, I have those issues, but Haida does too. And with Inui, he had a moment where he could have done something about it. Where he could have, like, where everyone said to him, if you wanted, because even fate itself was telling him, look, bro, if you want things to be easier for you to understand, go with Inui. And yeah, it could have bred into something toxic, but we wouldn't have known for sure.
Oh yeah.
And Inui probably would have been best for him to kind of like get him to like really explore, and would have been very interesting going into another season to see what Retsuko thought of this relationship in particular.
And also, just to speak on Inui as a character, I really appreciate her emotional maturity. Right?
Yeah, she, like, when Retsuko got attacked by the llama fucker, like, we'll have a whole dissertation on him in a minute, but Inui had such emotional maturity about the whole situation. Like, yeah, she saw that Inui really was into Retsuko, and she was like, hey, I get it. I didn't want to wait forever, but I wanted you to tell me yourself.
And, in this way, you kind of did, and I appreciate that. And also, I like that, when she saw Retsuko's handkerchief was, like, in his bathroom, and, like, she saw, like, the two whiskey glasses or whatever in the sink. She didn't do the dramatic girl react, like, who the fuck was here, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you know what, I should probably go. You're free to hang out with whoever you want.
Yeah,
it's
she
fine.
stepped the fuck out.
You're an adult, but I feel personally uncomfortable with this, and I'm gonna go. But, I'm not gonna stop you from having a good time. It's just like, I really applaud that. There was nothing petty about that. There was nothing passive aggressive about it. She was just an adult.
Yeah, she talked it out with them,
Mm-hmm.
Which I respect, honestly.
I really hope we get to see more of her character, because again, I just really like how just mature she is, and how, like, empathetic and well thought out she is, like, in terms of, like, making her moves. So I definitely I would like to see her and Retsuko become friends, to be honest. I think
I would love to see more. I would love to see more of Inui as a character.
Yeah, she's the type of friend I think Retsuko needs. Like, not to say that her friends like Sonoda and Feneko and, the rest of her work buddies aren't great, like Gori and, Washi, or, but Washimi. But, I think adding her to the dynamic of Retsuko's friends would be really cool.
Oh yeah, totally. I agree with you.
But yeah, so yeah, now let's talk about the llama fucker. Okay, this guy. So look, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm out here and I have clout or whatever. I only have a couple. I only have about 2K subscribers on my main channel off of like restarting, getting back to YouTube. I'm not
And I have like
anywhere.
fucking
Yeah.
almost 50. So
So neither of us, you know, in any way, shape, or form considers ourselves like big creators. But I guess me specifically, I've had interactions with subs, long time subs, and like people that have watched my shit from the beginning, all the way from like 2012 when I first started doing comic shit, and I actually related to like Retsuko's struggle a little bit because like when you start doing one thing and you shift into other areas, right? People start to question you. It's like, why are you changing it up? I liked how you did it before. You're ruining your content. This isn't what I wanted. And it's just like, well, fam, this isn't what I want to do. I appreciate your support, and I will always be thankful for it. But if you don't like what I'm doing, if you're not big into anime or Fate or whatever, then fine. It's cool. Peace. I appreciate you, but you don't need to be here. If you don't like my opinions on TV, or you think that I've changed up because my opinions have shifted because I've matured as a person, all right. I appreciate your support, but you can get the fuck out. I don't really need you around here. And I know that might sound cold and ungrateful. These people are who got you where you are, and they're the reason that you got monetized and stuff like that. And yeah, no, I'm fully aware of that, and I'm always going to be grateful of that type of shit. But fans should never feel entitled to creators.
mm-hmm.
Anyone who makes things for a living does so, or at least you would hope, does so for themselves at the end of the day. It should be about you. It should be about you having fun. It should be about you being proud of the product you make. It doesn't matter if people like it. Tony and I were just joking around earlier in this special about, Tony wants, Tony's like, I do want some views. It doesn't fucking matter though, because we have a blast. 2 people could watch it, 2,000 people could watch it. Regardless, either way, we would still have the same amount of fun. Like, and that's what the fucking llama dude needs to realize, right? Is that like, just because Retsuko helped change the dynamic of the group, things shifted from how they used to be. That does not make Retsuko an evil person, and that does not entitle him to anything from Retsuko or any of the other girls just because he happens to be a fan of their music and support them. They don't owe you anything, and you don't owe them anything.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off. Like, that's my whole opinion. And what he tried to do was just absolutely despicable. Trying to take someone's life because of this shit is just crazy. Yes. And exposing where she lived and where she worked.
And it's fucking deplorable, man.
And the crazy part is, right, like, Retsuko always pulls from shit from real life. And, unfortunately, this is the case for a lot of J-pop and especially K-pop idols. There have been several stories throughout the years in the news of, young, prominent, new K-pop idols ending their own lives because of fan pressure and, being doxxed and fan harassment because they found out that they had a secret boyfriend and then the fans felt betrayed. And, it's horrible. Because at the end of the day, even if people do make content that you enjoy, they're a personality that you watch week to week, there's somebody that you give money to because you really like what they do. They are
you
people.
You don't know them as people, though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're people at the end of the day. Like, me and Tony, for example. Yeah, we work together. We collab all the time. Tony helps me out. Like, Tony helps provide certain things for me, and he gives me advice on different things, and I help Tony as well. But we're friends. We're friends. We were friends before any of this shit, and that's a difference, right? Like, there's always going to be a clear separation when it comes to these kind of things, and if there's anything I want people to take away from this season is that, you should always, at the end of the day, treat creators and artists as people before anything else. Because that's what they are, right? Like, yes, they, went after this career with the express intent of maybe one day being famous and being noticed and getting fame, notoriety, and money. But that doesn't mean that they are openly inviting you to harass them for no reason, to dox them, to, threaten them. They're people. Would you want this to happen to you or anyone you care about? I would think not. No. So don't do that to people who you don't even fucking know. So yeah, it got into a really deep, dark place, and I did not see it coming. That finale threw me off. I was shook, but man, was I blown away by it. That just was amazing. And it led to, one of the best ever, death metal karaoke showdowns of the show so far. So, Sony, what are your, closing thoughts on, the finale and stuff with Gretzko?
Well, to be honest with you, I really connected and resonated with this season.
Mm-hmm.
I just, honest to God, thought that Retzko, Haida, yeah, sure, we got little of Fenico this season, and I mean that's fine and dandy.
Oh, also, we didn't really touch on it, but Tadano was back, and I really appreciate the friendship between Tadano and Haida.
Oh yeah, that shit.
And Tadano and Gory as well. Tadano and Gory are pretty fun.
Oh, because Gory is setting up this dating app.
Yep.
That was Gory's whole thing for this season. Where she's a, woman in her 30s, and it's the typical trope in anime. This hoe be out here trying to, get a man. But she ain't able to get no man. But, damn it, we love her because she tries.
She's definitely super endearing. And I felt so bad for her, feeling bad for, not being there for Retzko, so she starts stalking her with Haida.
Oh, God.
That shit was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that shit was funny.
I loved their bonding. It was pretty fantastic.
Oh, but this hoe decided to get a condo when she can't afford it.
Yeah.
Because she's putting money in the app.
Yep. She just wanted it to flex, and I respect that. You know what? Good for you, Gory.
Do what you Gory? Do. Yeah, you do you, boo.
Do what you gotta do, girl. I respect it. I respect it.
Homegirl, you put the smoke on. You do it.
But yeah, so, in terms of final thoughts, yeah, I absolutely adored this season. By far the best season of the show yet. Probably the most relatable to my adult life because, neither you or I really work in an office setting. So,
no. I work in healthcare. It's a different system altogether, man.
Exactly. And I work in freelance work and content creation, so I've never really had the traditional 9-to-5 experience, so I couldn't really, as much as I enjoyed the first 2 seasons, I couldn't really vibe with the office work stuff, because, I've never really had to deal with that, but this season in particular, because it was more about following your passions, despite, there being no guarantees with everything, and just moving forward and doing that, because that was a personal crossroads I had to come to myself when I finished school and like trying to figure out what I wanted to do afterwards. And I was like, you know what? I found that I'm really good with marketing and social media and making content. I make good shit, and I'm very proud of it. And I enjoy what I do. It's all really fun, and I can make a decent living out of it. And it's not guaranteed for sure. There's not as much security as say a healthcare job like what Tony does, or a science job like what Jordan does.
Hell, and sometimes healthcare can be a real pain in the ass, man.
Yeah, but even with that lack of security, the fact that I'm all in all generally happy with life. Like, sure, I might like joke around about like being broke, quote unquote, but I'm not poor, right? I'm doing fine. Of course, extra cash. I'm always down for it because there are always new waifus coming out of FGO. But like, I'm not out here struggling. So like, I'm fine. And like, I think that's kind of something that Retsy kind of had to realize at the end of the day with this whole idol journey. Is that like, you just need to find something that you're happy doing that kind of fulfills you as a person. And she felt that way with the whole idol journey, and then experienced that big trauma and was like, okay, no, I can't handle this, so this isn't for me. But I think because she was able to put herself out there, I think now she'll be able to really follow that trajectory and find something good for her that really kind of fulfills her as a person. Because it's an old cliche, corny saying, but it's true. When you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Because, I mean, you guys hear me talk about my schedule for, stuff I do at the end of these Weeb Warriors episodes. I'm doing a million different things. And, it's a lot of work, a lot of, effort, blood, sweat, and tears are put into this shit. But at the end of the day, it doesn't feel like a job. I'm having a blast. I get to work with, people that I love and care about that, share the same passions as I do. I get to, openly express myself on a daily basis about, things that I love. And I get to, put on my psychologist cap and not, have my degree to go to complete waste and, get to use it on character analysis and do a bunch of other cool shit. And sometimes I get to be a degenerate and talk about titties. All in all, it's a good time. And I enjoy it. And that's kind of the thing with Retsy. Like, I think her overall goal and the goal of this show, I feel, is gonna be like her fully like achieving self-actualization. Being good with herself, and that's what both her, Haida, and a lot of these characters kind of have to reach. And it's gonna be fun just watching that journey, I feel. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the Retsy. Overall, fantastic season.
I agree with you. Fantastic season.
Alright, so we'll catch you guys with the regular reviews, but hopefully you enjoyed this special.
Yeah.
Don't forget to do the usual YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Be sure it's set to all so you get notified every time Tony has a new upload.
Yep. Beyond just, if I want to be posting my social media, like, there's my Instagram, which I haven't posted anything new in a while.
Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna get Tony active. We're gonna actually get him to use Twitter, and maybe that'll actually
prompt me to use Twitter.
Listen,
even though this was a joke, I'm gonna repeat this joke like hell. Convince me to get an OnlyFans and to get premium content.
No, please no, please no, please for the love of all that is holy, I will pay you not to.
Ooh, that stung a little, my brother. But alright, it was just a joke though.
No, same.
Like, what if I want to just make all the jokes I want, man? I like
yeah,
making jokes. It's what I do.
But yeah, this was a blast. The follow-up special I was talking about was for The Great Pretender, which is a phenomenal show that's on Netflix right now. It's a brand new anime by Studio Wits. I'm only about halfway through it as of this recording, but hopefully we'll get to it at least sometime next week. It's pretty phenomenal. Tony, I know you're gonna fucking love it, especially the music behind it, because my god, is it smooth. It gives me some, like, Persona-type jazz vibes.
Oh, God.
Very dope.
Persona 5 jazz is some good, like, funk jazz. I love it.
Yep. It's very good shit. Very good shit. And plus, Wit kills it with the animations. It's pretty phenomenal. And plus, that first episode is gonna have you dying of laughter with all the English.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
Good stuff.
Oh.
But yeah, look forward to it, folks. We'll catch you guys next time.
Oh, my God, yes.